fresh out, want to know how I gained employment and went to school for free. Let's talk about it. Alright, what's happening, YouTube friends and family? I'm Raymond once again. If you don't know me, you will get to know me.
I'm Mary.
You're rolling with the Reeveses. So, like the caption said, and our little pre-intro, I'm gonna explain to you, how I was able to find a job and go to school to get my CDLs at the same time as a convicted felon. A little bit of a backstory is, try to make this quick. Backstory is, I got sentenced to 20 years when Obama was in office. His administration came up with a program for nonviolent offenders, and after my wife doing all the footwork, I qualified for some relief, and I received something called clemency. If you don't know what that is, just do us a favor and Google it. Doesn't have anything to do with taking your conviction away. It just takes a little bit of time away. So I got sentenced to 20. I got out in 17 after doing 17 years. That's a little bit of a backstory. So I came home, went to a halfway house, and I had some duties to do while I was in a halfway house. And in order to to get out, on a daily basis and stuff like that, you have to find a job. That's one of the criteria of being in a halfway house. You either gotta show that you're looking for a job or find an active job. I didn't want to go through the hassle of doing that, circumventing the system, and just going to places and showing that I was looking for a job, because I really wanted a job. I didn't have no money, and I knew I was coming home to work. So I started filling out applications. My halfway house was in Philly, but I knew that I was going. Our residence, the house that we owned, my wife and I, was in Allentown. So I started looking for a job in Allentown. I didn't even have to wait that long. I think I filled out maybe a couple of applications. They were both online. There's a lot of warehousing in Allentown in the Lehigh Valley area. So that's what I went straight to. And I got hired just like that. You need to chime in, babe? You want to say something?
No. Just trying to make sure that it's going. Is it going?
Is it recording?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's recording.
Are you sure? Let me just pause here and then.
Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Little technical difficulties. So, I think I applied online for like maybe 2 jobs, and I was actually called for an interview on both of them, but I went with the higher paying job, which was the warehousing. So I started in the warehouse. I never lied on my application. Every application that I filled out, that section that came up about, have you ever been convicted of a crime, I always put yes. I don't never hide that. I don't really know what the law is now, and I don't know if they have something where you don't have to say or whatever. I don't know nothing about that. I was just saying. I put it down. So I got hired. I did that. And at the same time, I was always still looking for a better job. Every job that I had up until now was an advancement to the workforce. Each job that I went to, I made more money, basically. So I was looking for another job, and I got a job closer to home. I was able to walk from my house once I got out the halfway house to work. So I took that. So my wife told me about, the employment. I don't think they call it the employment agency, right? What is it called, babe? What is that agency called?
It's called the Careerlink.
Oh, Careerlink. It was called Careerlink, and it's still called Careerlink today. I don't know if they call it something else in the different cities and states, but in PA, it's called Careerlink.
Because in Pennsylvania we don't have unemployment agencies that you can go into like back in the day. They don't have those. They have the Careerlink. All our unemployment stuff is done online or over the phone. The Careerlink agency is where you go to look for work. They have job fairs. They have career counselors. They have resume help, education and training help if you need it. And they have another program which for people who are convicted felons to come out to help the barrier to get a job. And you had that. What was that?
You talking about the WIOA program?
No,
Oh.
you're bonding.
Oh, so I got the other program that I was kind of eligible for because I was a convicted felon just coming out of jail was the bonding program. All it is an insurance policy that the federal government is saying that if anything happened, when you hire this person, you can file a claim. Some people don't do right. They be stealing on the job. They be doing all sorts of stuff. So that the bonding program is like, added incentive for the employer not to really look at your background as a factor in hiring. So I received one of those as well.
So after you went to the Careerlink, you got your job that you were able to walk to work. You were making it was a nice bump in salary from the warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
Like a few dollars.
I had to work overtime at the warehouse to make $19 or $21 an hour, and then when I got the other job in town, I was making, I think I started out at $18 or $19 an hour, and I was in the maintenance department, but all I was doing was cleaning. I didn't know nothing about maintenance in terms of on paper. I know how to fix things, I know how to do all of that, but I didn't have the qualifications to get a maintenance job, and them guys was making like maybe $30 an hour starting out. I didn't have those qualifications, so I was just in their office as the cleaning guy. That's it.
Yeah. So while you were still hooked up, while you were hooked up with Careerlink, you got the federal bonding program. Then you decided you wanted to go to school to get a trade.
Yep. And at first I wanted to do electrical, and I started out doing electrical, but I took the electrical with a degree attached to it, an associate's degree attached to it, and I found out real quick in a hurry, school books are not for me. I'm more hands-on. If I would have just did the certificate in electrical, I might have passed and got my certificate and been an electrician by now. But I seen early on, a month in, that the school thing, sitting in a classroom setting, wasn't for me.
You had a lot of classes.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. It was so many classes. Yeah, a lot of homework. It wasn't for me. I knew that early on, and it only cost me $1,000 because I was taking out school loans to make that possible.
And that happened because, let's fast forward to the WIOA program. So what is the WIOA program?
I think
it's called the Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act. That program, it's a federal program, and it helps
displaced workers find a different career. So you may be in one career currently, and let's say if your corporation or company downsize and you get laid off, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it'll be hard to find a job in that field all over again. You may be overqualified. A lot of companies don't hire overqualified because
they can't pay you
they
enough.
can't pay you enough, so they won't even hire you, so you considered a displaced worker. Well, that's when the WIOA program kick in.
Or if you're underemployed, so you don't have, like my husband would be considered underemployed. So he had a job, and actually his job was, for the time, especially coming out, like you got that job within less than a year of coming home. Because it was 2018. And you came home in 2017.
Yeah, but I got the warehouse job. Like a month.
But I'm just saying that the higher paying job.
Oh, the higher paying,
The warehouse job you got in like a couple weeks.
Yeah.
But he was considered underemployed or lacked qualifications because he didn't have a lot of work experience and he didn't have a trade under his belt of any kind. So it also helps if you are underemployed. So because he was working, and actually I took advantage of the same program, and I was considered a displaced worker because I was laid off from my job with no possibility of returning because they laid off a whole bunch of people for financial reasons.
So this program that we talking about is not only for a person like me being a convicted felon coming out of jail. It's also like for people like my wife. She's not a convicted felon. She was just considered, per their categories, a displaced worker.
I was on unemployment at the time that I applied. Now he did his program first, so he did that, went through, got your CDL. You had your CDL like 4.5, 5 years when I entered the program, and I got it because I was, like I said, I was laid off. Now I had to jump through a couple of more hurdles because I wasn't considered underemployed or underqualified. Like I was considered like I could get a job in the field that I was working in. I should be able to get a job, no problem. And actually I could have gotten a job with no problem, but I did come into the cut because I was in insurance for 17 years. So for me, you don't go down. They look at it like you don't go down. So I had to make a certain amount because I was already making a certain amount. So any job that I took, they didn't expect me to take a job making an entry-level wage when I had already had 17 years of experience. So after I had to do like I think 3 months of job search, and we'll get into the other things that you have to do to be able to qualify. And one of the things that we both had to do was the job search.
We had to take classes. We had to take a certain amount of classes. It's basically one class a day. If you do it straight through, it's one class a day for 5 days. That's what I did. I went every day for 3 or 4 hours every day until I completed it. So I started it on Monday. My classes were complete by Friday. That's one of the stipulations that you gotta do before you get qualified for the free money. I did that. Then you have to, if you don't have a job, then you have to go there, I don't know, whether it's 2 or 3 hours a week, and you have to go on their computer systems and look for work, see what companies are hiring, fill out applications online. Everything is online though. It's nothing, you don't have to do nothing in person unless they call you for an interview. You know what I'm saying? Or go to one of their job fairs. All the job fairs and stuff will be right there in the same building. So you would just have to do that on a regular basis until they finalize the money.
Until they say that you're approved for the funds, which some people are approved pretty quickly, which I would say you were approved pretty quickly.
Yeah.
For the money, and mine took like about, I would say 3 months to complete. Like I said, I had to actually, it wasn't like 3 hours. Like I had to put in job search every single day. The difference is that I was able to do my job search at home on my computer, but I had to log it in on there was a portal, and I had to log in what job it was, what company it was. If I had to make a call to the company, I would log in the person I would speak to or what have you. But it was something that I had to do, and it had to show consistency for those times until I was actually approved. I also had to do the classes, but they changed the format, so I had to do they were like 3 hours, but they literally put two modules in the class per class, and I just did them all the way through as well to get them all done.
Yeah, and it's not like no homework assignment or no guesswork. They literally give you the answers. They hold your hand through the whole process. So all you need to do is give a little bit of your time, which you should have if you know.
If you're not working.
Yeah, if you're not working.
The process, although like you have stuff to do, it's not hard. Nothing that they ask you to do is hard. Would you say? Would you agree? Like nothing is hard.
I ain't the smartest tool in the toolbox, so if I can do it, anybody can.
It does require you to have commitment and a mind that, you know what, this is what I want to do, and do it. One other aspect of the program is they don't give money just for any career out there. They give money for careers that they say that per their statistics are needed careers. These are jobs that are needed out in the workforce that you are going to be able to get a job. And I will say there's a lot of like, don't listen to that and think, oh man, I can't get a job. There is a lot of careers, like all the trades, like electrical, HVAC, plumbing, mechanic, like all of those trades are actually trades that are needed. Truck drivers, CDL, getting your CDL is one of them. And though what they told me when I did the class was that CDL drivers, like that has been on there for like 2 decades, like since the program's inception, and it's never like they don't ever foresee the CDL be off that, because the way the industry's turnover is they always need drivers. So if you're looking for CDL, like that's how I got my CDL. That's how my husband got his CDL. We went to the same school in Allentown, Pennsylvania, McCann. I had a great experience with McCann.
Yeah, McCann, I did too. McCann was a really good school. I'm still using a lot of the material that they taught me back then today. So, and when I was training, I used a lot of the tools that they showed me when I was training other drivers. So, it can happen. It takes a little bit of dedication. We have dedication when we on the streets, when we committing crimes and stuff like that. So if you turn around and, it wasn't for me no more. I had to come to terms with that.
It really never was for you.
Yeah, but I had to come to terms with that myself, and I came to terms, and now, this is where I'm at, and I'm trying to, show whoever is watching or whoever want to watch how easy it is. It's basically easy. They actually hold your hand, like I said, through the whole process, and there's no way to there's no way to mess it up. You know what I mean? There's no way. It's out there for you. You just have to be a go-getter to go get it.
Yeah. And just to let you know, we will put some information, links down in the description in reference to the WIOA program.
Yeah, so you can look it up.
So you can look it up because it's
yeah.
actually we looked it up. It's in every state.
Yeah.
So no matter what state you're in, you may not have Careerlinks. They may call it the unemployment agency, or they may call it something else in your state. That's where I would start with the program, because it's available, and I see how good my husband has done since he's come home, and it's anybody can do it. And it's not, I'm not saying like, I think, my husband says he's not the sharpest tool, but he's a pretty smart guy. But at the end of the day, having that conviction doesn't have to be the nail in the coffin.
Right.
That doesn't mean that's what you have to do the whole time.
I haven't been
Forever.
held up yet, even though I got that those blemishes on my record. I haven't been held up yet. I had a misconception when I was in jail, listening to all of them guys talk negative, or people just talk negative, and it's furthest. That's the furthest from the truth, because I'm a prime example. So I can tell you right here, right now, that it ain't even like that. I did skip my series that I was doing. I already did my video on a convicted felon getting a TWIC card, because I already have my TWIC card. So if you haven't checked that video out, the link is going to be in the description for you to check that out. Yeah, check that out. If you got any questions or concerns about this video, or if it's not enough information for you and you need more information and we could point you in the right direction, hit us up in the comments. Like always, like, share, and subscribe, and let us know. Be happy to talk to you.
Our email is also going to be in the description if you don't want to leave your question in the comment, if it's sensitive to you. So you can always shoot us in an email. It's private. And that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and keep rolling.